as usual. But today I thought I would go out and try and do a little bit of birding at Osaka Castle Park. I was there last weekend to catch the plum blossoms, and there are lots of, they're called Japanese white-eye, which is a very common bird to see when the plum blossoms and cherry blossoms are opening because they like to eat the nectar out of the flowers on the tree. So I went out last weekend with my camera to try and get some pictures, but unfortunately my lens is not quite, doesn't quite have the zoom I need. So today I'm gonna stop by the camera store in Osaka, see if maybe they might have the one I'm looking for, but if not, I'm still gonna just try and do my best to catch some pictures of some of the different birds you can see at Osaka Castle Park. So gonna get ready to leave for that to catch my bus, and I will see you there. Okay, so after a bit of a detour to go pick up a new camera lens, I found what I was looking for, and on sale. And I am now at Osaka Castle Park. So I'm gonna go look for somewhere to sit down and switch out my lenses, and then I'm going to head over to the castle. Okay, I am headed down to the moat to try and get a few duck photos. Got some really nice photos, but got sidetracked a little bit because one of the older Japanese guys was showing me his photos and trying to help me get some bird photos, which is nice, but there was like one specific bird that he wanted to get, which I did get some very good photos from, so I do appreciate him pointing it out to me. But I have a headache. And I spent more time doing that than I planned, so I'm gonna head down to the water now. Okay, so last night I stayed up late trying to crop my pictures and edit them so I could get a good look at all the birds, and I think I finished identifying everything, so thought I'd just run through what I managed to see yesterday while I was out. Getting the obvious out of the way, of course we had the common pigeons and the crows that were flying around, but I'm going to focus a little bit more on some of the new to me birds. With the exception of our first bird, which is the Japanese white-eye, or the warbling white-eye. I see these every year when I go to see the plum blossoms and sometimes the cherry blossoms. These are probably like maybe the most common bird that everybody's at least paying attention to when they're out at the different flower groves, and it's really kind of because it just takes a really good picture because they're always in among the blossoms, and so you've got this like green bird in the middle of all like the pink and the white flowers, and it just makes for a really nice photograph. So of course I have the warbling white eye photos, but next, one of the new ones that I found, or new to me, and I was actually kind of surprised because it appeared that this bird was also drinking the nectar out of the flowers, but it is the brown-eared bulbul, which is a larger bird, and it was pretty hilarious because it would kind of fly down into the branches with all the blossoms, and it would shake everything, and then like the little white eyes would all fly off, and then this bird would be alone in the tree because it had scared everybody else off. It's a pretty plain looking bird, kind of a grayish color, but I don't know, I thought it makes for some really gorgeous little photos among the blossoms. Another one, a little bit nondescript, was one that I wasn't really sure of. I was trying to find, I was using the Birds of Japan on iNaturalist to try and identify a lot of these birds, and this one didn't quite seem to match what was listed on there. I think this bird may be the dusky thrush. There was another similar bird, a similar thrush, but it had more of a plain belly, and this one has more of like a speckled belly. So I'm not sure 100%, but I think this is the dusky thrush. But again, you know, I'm not a pro birder, just a very casual outing over the weekend. Another one that I was happy to get a picture of, because these guys are usually running around quite a bit and don't really sit still, is the white wagtail. And I used to see this one a lot when I was studying abroad in Japan, and I just didn't have a fast enough camera to get them, because these things, they literally just like take off running. They're so fast. They're just these little kind of white and black birds. But he was kind of sitting in the back area. When you go into the plum grove at Osaka Castle Park, you've got kind of the front part of the grove with all the trees and stuff, but once you get further back towards the other wall, it's a little bit quieter, and that's where I was seeing a lot of these other birds in kind of the quieter area, not quite as many people, you know, talking and taking photos. So I was able to get a look at, you know, quite a lot of nice birds. Next on the list, another one that I had trouble getting a picture of. I believe this is the Japanese tit. I only got like a good picture of it from behind, because right as I was trying to get a picture of this, when it had finally landed on a tree closer to me, an older Japanese gentleman came over and started talking to me right then, so the bird flew off and did not come back down closer. It kind of stayed up on like the wall, so I only got like a kind of far away look at its face and then kind of a close-up look at its back. Which, that is the thing about Japan, is that they are very conscious of the changing seasons, and so they love to go take pictures. And so you will often see a lot of older Japanese men that just have these like massive cameras, and you know, they're out trying to get those, you know, those specific seasonal pictures of like the white eyes among the plum blossoms, or, you know, get the nice, you know, cherry blossom photos. And which often means that they will, if they know you speak Japanese, they will try and start talking to you. So I kind of got sidetracked with this guy, him trying to show me like birds that he was trying to take pictures of. He had like printed out pictures, like he had a whole like deck of his printed out photos and like an album, and he was showing me all his pictures, which was nice, but I was kind of like, I'm trying to take a picture of this bird. Which anyway, that turned into a bit of a tangent where there was one specific bird he wanted to get a picture of, and he was trying to point it out to me so that I could get a picture of it. And that bird was the Daurian redstart. Not sure how that's pronounced, but it's got a very orange belly and kind of black and gray back. And I did get some very nice photos of this one, so I do appreciate him kind of pointing it out to me and giving me tips on, you know, where to see it and, you know, what pictures to take. So that one was a new one for me. Once I finished at the Plum Grove area, I headed down to the moat around the castle to see some of the ducks. So, there weren't a whole lot, but the ones I did see were the Eurasian coot, which unfortunately it was pretty cloudy by then, so the lighting wasn't great, and I couldn't really get its bright red eyes to show up in my pictures, but that's okay, not too bad. There were also plenty of tufted ducks swimming around, and the eastern spot-billed duck, which it seems is pretty common. A little farther away, so a little bit more difficult to get photos of, was what I believe is the green-winged teal and the common pochard. So those were kind of the waterfowl I saw in the moat. And then just kind of in the little park area were some Eurasian tree sparrows, which are always very cute to see. And yeah, that was about it. Pigeons, of course. But that was my day out in Osaka Castle Park trying to get some bird photos. And I'm really excited because my photos actually came out really nice. For the first time in about 5 years since I've owned my DSLR, I finally broke down and bought a new lens. So up until now, I've just been using the 18 to 55 millimeter that came with my base camera. But yesterday when I went out, I was able to find a nice used one that's 18 to 200 millimeters. And that has clearly made a big difference in my ability to get some nice clear bird photos. So that was my day out Saturday, enjoying some of the flowers and some of the birds. The state of emergency in Japan is lifted. The weather is starting to improve. It's still pretty chilly, but we're starting to get a little bit more sunshine, a little bit more, warm weather coming in. So I'm excited to start getting out a little bit more, get back out exploring, and maybe start, vlogging some of these places that I go to. So I hope you enjoyed this attempt at a little bit of a vlogging and birding video. I tried to take some video of the birds at the park, but I was really mainly focused on just taking pictures, and so the few videos I have of the Japanese white eyes were used with my zoom lens, which meant that it came out really shaky. So I may or may not include that, but if I did, I apologize if that was just too shaky for you to watch. So that's all for today. I hope to see you again next time, and I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the birds in Japan. So thanks for watching.